Time now to talk business. It's been a busy week for news on the Arkansas jobs front with announcements in Arkadelphia, Rogers, Paragould, and Little Rock. Nearly 1,400 new jobs in total. Some would consider that a pretty good week for certain. Our next guest does. Mike Preston, Executive Director of the Arkansas Economic Development Commission. Congratulations.
Thanks, Roby. Thanks for having me today. It certainly was a busy week, a productive week, but it was a great week for Arkansas.
That's good. So let's talk about the Sun Paper Company. That was probably the biggest one in terms of investment in the state.
Yes.
Somewhere between $1 billion and $1.3 billion. You've been working on this one for a long time. Even your predecessor was. Governor Hutchinson described Chairman Lee as a tough negotiator. What was tough about this deal, and kind of what pulled it all together?
Sure, it was certainly a long time coming, as you said, many years in the making, but I really think, the last probably 8 months or so, it's kind of, all right, we're ready to make a decision, let's move forward. And it was still a competitive project up until this week. I mean, we were neck and neck with another state who was offering a lot for them to come to their state, and fortunately we were able to seal the deal and convince them to come to Arkansas. But certainly Chairman Lee is a tough negotiator. He doesn't get to found and run one of the biggest paper companies in the world without being so. But they had there were some impediments that they had to overcome, and they wanted to make sure that we as a state could help them assist in those efforts. And fortunately we were able to, and a lot of it, we can't sit up here as a state and take credit. I got to give a lot of credit to Clark County and Arkadelphia. They really came to the table and made it known that they wanted this project in their community.
Some folks will raise concerns that Chinese manufacturing standards may be a little different than American manufacturing standards. Are there some guarantees about quality that you feel are in place?
Sure. I mean, they're going to have to live up to all the standards and efficiencies that we look for. Obviously, going through the permitting that we have in the United States, I'll have to go through all that normal process. But as the chairman has shared with us, and we've looked at their plans, this will be the most technologically advanced mill that has been built in North America. I mean, this is going to be cutting-edge technology. This will be something we haven't seen before. So it's going to be much, very technology-driven company. So we're excited about that.
I mentioned the other jobs that were announced this week up in Rogers. Mercy Health Northwest is going to add about 1,000 doctor jobs in terms of almost $250 million investment in some new facilities. That's really driven by population growth up there. The other two announcements this week, GW Communications and Sprint, one in Paragould and one in Little Rock. What was kind of driving those projects, do you think?
Sure, and obviously I go back to the governor's focus on computer education. People around the country realize, man, Arkansas really, they have an understanding of where the future is going. These are the tech and data-driven jobs that the new generation, the millennials, are important to. So GW Communications, specializing in broadband mapping and working with some of the larger wireless providers and carriers to help them. They looked at communities kind of all over the country and settled on Paragould, Arkansas, because they've never had a presence here before, and this is a good opportunity. They saw the strength of the workforce and saw that you're going to have a lot of people continuing to move through there. And then again on Sprint, another great announcement, is going to be located in Little Rock. An additional 100 jobs coming out of that company. This is going to be a regional headquarters. So these are very good, high-paying jobs that are going to be based right here in the central Arkansas area.
So how fat is the pipeline that you still got to work right now? Because we do see some things that suggest the economy may be slowing down. GDP, this initial reading that we just got earlier this week, pretty shaky. Some CEO confidence not as strong as you'd like to see it, but where do you feel like things are in terms of what we're working on?
As far as our pipeline is concerned, and you can see that this week, that this was the culmination of 3 projects coming together. We've been working for over time. We're excited to see that, but we've got a lot more in the pipeline. And I think we have that momentum that we continue to talk about, and the fact of the governors being able to go and sell the Arkansas story all over the country and all over the world. We're starting to see the fruits of that labor come to bear now, which is exciting, but our pipeline is continuing to be full. The product of being successful is that more CEOs are picking up the phone, more site selection consultants are picking up the phone and say, hey, what's going on in Arkansas? We're considering an expansion, a relocation. We got you guys on the list now. We'd love to come down, and never been there before. Let's check it out. So we're getting a lot more of those.
Last question for you. Arkansas's unemployment rate, 4%. I mean, the lowest in state history here. How does that impact job recruiting, economic development recruiting? What does it change in terms of the equation?
Sure, and people would think that 4% unemployment, that's great, that's full employment, and it is. That's where we want to go and that's where we want to stay. But sometimes it can be challenging then to find the qualified workers. So it goes into adding in, the training programs and making sure that, we can go from a great job to a better job. But then also it allows us to focus more on wages. We can be more selective when we're recruiting companies in, so we can focus on those jobs that are really diversifying the economy and bringing in a higher wage.
All right, he's Mike Preston with the Arkansas Economic Development Commission Executive Director. Happy 1-year anniversary, by the way. It's just been maybe a year and a month.
Yeah, a year and a month.
All right, we'll keep you around a little longer.
All right, thanks.